What's up, everybody? Terminator Juice with another Juice Opinions here. Mm, Night before or the day of the Game Awards. Maybe talk about that for a little bit, but title of the video: Switch dock versus portable mode. Obviously, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 stirred up some controversy. We got Nintendo haters looking like it's fuel for their fire, and then you got I want to look at it from the Nintendo fan perspective and talk about some games that I feel benefit more from one or the other. But let's start with a little bit of I don't know if it's a rumor or whatever, a little announcement today that in 2018 we're going to get an announcement of a new game in a series I've been a big fan of. Got my little figurine here that I got yesterday, coincidentally. Supposedly a new Tomb Raider game coming. I hope it's not some scaled back version, because the last one didn't sell. So I would hope it's not just some rushed version, and maybe didn't put as much effort into it, because Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, just two of my favorite non-Nintendo games, along with Doom in the past like 10-15 years probably. So looking forward to that announcement. Hopefully it's a full-fledged game and they didn't hold anything back, because it's unfortunate that game didn't sell nearly as well as I think it should, where I feel it destroyed Uncharted 4 in just about every important category to gaming. Maybe didn't have the voice acting or storytelling of Uncharted, but every other aspect of the game is superior to Uncharted 4. So Rise of the Tomb Raider was my game of the year last year. The PC version came out in early 2016, and I'm super excited for another game. So that was just something that just popped up when I turned my computer on. So hopefully it's a full-fledged, third game that's everything that is good about the first two, with a new place to explore, and I'll be happy. So the other thing, I guess, Game Awards coming tonight. I'm not expecting major announcements or major reveals from Nintendo, but I think they'll have a big presence. The Zelda DLC has been talked about all over the place, and apparently there's a live stream Nintendo's doing, so maybe we'll get a trailer and a release date or something at the Game Awards. But anything else, it's a tough call. It's like, would they show something, as in small in people's eyes as like footage of the new Kirby game and a release date, or Yoshi and a release date? I believe both those games are going to come out early 2018, like before May of 2018. So that would probably disappoint people. Will it be something like Fire Emblem or Pokemon or something major, Metroid Prime 4? I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to have it on, and then I'm going to have my Switch in my hand, do some tedious moon collecting in Mario Odyssey, still trying to get to 999. And most of them left are just kind of jump to this kingdom, find where this photo is hinting at in this one kingdom, and get that moon, and then jump back to another kingdom. So there's like, I think Bowser's Kingdom, I got 10 moons left to get, and then everything else is just those photo hints and then buying moons with gold coins. So I'll probably do a little research, the best place to farm coins, best levels and stuff to get coins. I'll be doing that while the Game Awards is on. Just because I'm not going to sit there and give it my full attention, because usually it's just terrible and awkward, and Jeff could probably be crying over Kojima again. So I'll be playing my Switch in handheld mode, portable mode, whatever you want to call it. And, maybe I'll even switch to Xenoblade and do some grinding or something. So since I'm talking about portable mode, let's just get right into it. So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in portable mode definitely is a downgrade over docked, and in my opinion, it's the biggest drop off going from docked to portable mode of any Switch game that I've seen personally. And it's good and bad in a couple different ways. I'll go over that. It's interesting that you got, obviously, the Nintendo haters. They finally think they found a kink in the armor, and they're all over it. exposing, fake Nintendo fans, like OJ said a while back. They have a Switch, but they're just so excited to point out, and they're hyped about how shitty the game looks, quote unquote shitty the game looks in portable mode. The guy with initials SMD64, I believe he's like leading the charge for Nintendo fan, who's like really all over this now. As a Nintendo fan, and I love, I really like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I can say you're ignorant if you say it's absolutely not a problem or it's not noticeable, something to that effect. You're just being an ignorant fanboy at that point. But at the same time, it really doesn't detract from the gameplay experience. Yeah, it doesn't look that nearly as good. And, when you come to a new area and you got this beautiful sunset and this new area, like vista, like this awesome view, yeah, I'd rather have it docked than portable mode. But whereas I think it's silly to just ignore it completely, I feel, there's no harm in bringing it up as somebody who has the game, has a Switch, and is enjoying the game and loves the Switch. There's no harm in bringing it up the fact that the game doesn't look that good in portable mode. I mean, I don't see the harm in that. I think it's more harmful just to say that it doesn't exist or something. I don't know that anybody's actually said that, but if somebody is just like completely saying it's not noticeable or you can't tell the difference, then they're just as bad as the haters, just all over trying to finally find some negativity to spew towards the Switch. It's like it's been an amazing year for Nintendo, and these Nintendo haters, I feel somewhat sorry for them because they haven't had much to go on. Remember in the beginning it was, oh, there's no games, blah 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 blah, this and that. That's what they had in the beginning. Well, there wasn't a ton of games, but you had one of the best game of all time in Zelda, and then you had a decent flow start with Mario Kart in April. So that was really their only foothold in the beginning, and then there's been nothing for them to complain about pretty much until now. They finally feel like they got like their foot in the door. They found something, like Smog, that one little missing scale of armor. They think they found it with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Let's see. Let me read a comment real quick. Oh yeah, they're acting like the whole game runs at 360p and 20 frames per second, and it's not the case. I think the whole frame rate thing, if you watch Digital Foundry's video, it's fine when you load into a town, and then if you walk away and come back, then it gets slows down. So they think there's some kind of deficiency in the streaming of the assets that could be patched. We got to remember this game came out in the first year, and only 2 years after the North American launch of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and 2.5 years after Japanese launch. So, I mean, it's not like this game's been just ridiculously working, been working on it for 4 years, 5 years, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of an improvement on that aspect. That seems like an actual bug and not anything wrong with the engine. You got other idiots talking about how the Switch in portable mode is supposed to be more powerful than the Wii U, then how come it can't take that game engine and just do good with it, frame rate and resolution? Well, they took the engine from X and they added a completely new dynamic lighting engine that was just not even in X at all. It was static lighting, and they had this bloom dynamic lighting system. The grass is way more higher resolution textures are way more full, as far as the amount of grass, and just everything else is way more ambitious. You're on this Titan, and at any point you can pan the camera up and its giant head and neck are moving, its tail fins and stuff are all moving. I feel like that's where a lot of the processing power is actually going to. If they just had a static Titan that wasn't moving, I think this game would look vastly better. But still, the game looks great docked, and doesn't look amazing portable. It looks less than appealing. So why is this a big deal to some people, or why is it being mentioned? Because it's the first game to really do this. Like Zelda, in my opinion, looks almost the same in docked. Like it's at 720p docked. I don't know if it dips or not. 900p or 720p portable and 900 docked, and I'm not sure if the resolution changes, but Zelda looks amazing in portable mode. And that was one of the things people were like, well, actually the frame rate's a little bit better in portable mode. What's up with that? So we have that game. Skyrim apparently looks amazing in portable mode. Looks pretty good in docked from what I've seen from direct feed footage. Looks pretty good. What's another one that looks really like Splatoon 2 I think looks great in portable mode. Looks good on the TV. ARMS looks good in portable mode. Looks really good in portable mode. Looks great on the TV. So most of the games have looked really good in portable mode. I know some people said that they thought Snake Pass looked blurry, and Retro Death thinks that Mario Odyssey looks blurry in handheld mode. I don't see it. I think both games look good in portable mode. Snake Pass isn't a super sharp game, either docked or portable. So to me, it's not that big of a change going to portable. So there's been a precedent of games for the majority of games looking really good in portable mode. And then I feel not much of a jump going to docked. Now, Rocket League's another example. Docked only runs at 720p. Undocked, I'm not sure what the resolution is. It still looks good. Mario plus Rabbids, thanks, Jerry, looks amazing in either or. I don't feel like the benefit of docked is that big at all, really. Like it looks better, but it's not. I played that game majority of the time in portable mode. It's the game I've played the most in portable mode, and well, I mean, percentage wise, I probably put a few more hours in Zelda. Maybe not though. Not sure. But I know like 80% of my Mario plus Rabbids playtime was in portable mode, mostly because football season was new and fresh, and I was excited. And that game's one of the best games to play in portable mode because it's turn-based, so I can look away without having to pause it constantly. So, but the precedent has been most games look really good in portable, and then there's some improvements in docked. Now, Panic Button has ported 2 games, Rocket League and Doom. Both games run really well for the most part, really polished, good ports. But to me, the docked and undocked benefits, it's basically the same game, like, are the same. It looks the same to me. Like, I feel like they didn't take advantage of docked mode in Rocket League, especially, and somewhat in Doom. I was just playing Doom, the arcade mode in handheld just now, and it looks fine. Runs really good, super fast, responsive, and looks, yeah, it's a little blurrier, but putting it on the TV doesn't make some massive increase in visual quality, So I think that most developers, if you look at Splatoon 2, you look at Mario Odyssey, their early footage was all at 720p. And then launch comes out and Mario's running at 900 plus, I believe. Splatoon's 1080, but it hardly ever hits it. It's mostly like 900. And what I feel is developers are making their game in portable mode, making sure everything works in portable mode, and then towards the end saying, all right, let's dock it and let's see what little improvements we can make. That's how I feel just about every game for the Switch has been developed in that mindset since its launch. And I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the first game that they said, you know what, fuck that. We're going to develop this game docked, and we want to push it as far as we can and get the most out of it. And then when you undock it, we're going to make, the sacrifices needed to make to have this game run in portable mode. Now, I'm no tech savvy, I don't know all the ins and outs of game development. It seems pretty obvious to me that that's what happened because, like I said, it's really the only game that has that big a difference between docked and portable. And if for my money, I'd rather have it that way. Now, I know a lot of people play majority of their time in portable mode or half 50-50. Well, I'm like 90-95% in docked mode. So I was excited at the prospect of a game taking full advantage of docked mode and then maybe not looking that great in portable mode to the point where I'm probably just going to play it in docked almost any, the whole game. I've played it in portable mode for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather see it on my TV. That's the first game that's made me feel that way ever, on the Switch in the first 9 months. Now, other games may follow suit down the road, but and like I said, I would prefer that because I'm playing on the dock most of the time, and I feel like games like Rocket League could look way better on the TV and should look better. There's no reason for that game to run at 720p, in my opinion, when other games have shown. I mean, at the very least, that should be like a 900p type game. Doom, the actual game itself, yeah. I don't know that they could bump it up much. I know that I'm thinking they could make some improvements here, but when you're talking about the menu system and your character in the online lobbies, when you're not in the match and you're looking at stats and stuff, that there's no reason can't bump up to like 1080p so you can actually see what the hell you're looking at, you know, so it's not blurry, so your character is not all blurry looking. And then these little customization menus with the small text and stuff, like it's hard to see that stuff. And I just think Panic Button had to get those games out. I don't know what the size of their staff is, but that's two pretty big ports, major third-party games that they're doing at the same time. So I'd be curious to find out if down the road, I do believe they said that Rocket League, they were going to spend a lot of time on optimization now that the game's out. Now I'm happy that the game's out. You know, I played 30 plus hours, probably close to 35 hours into that game, and I have no problem with how it looks right now and runs great, 60 frames per second. But if down the road they put out a patch and now the game runs at 900p or whatever, I'd be very happy with that because I'll still be playing it. Doom, you know, like I said, make the menu systems higher resolution so I can actually freaking see a little better, navigating through the menus and the text and the settings and customization of your character online, that kind of stuff. I'd like to see a little more, you know, optimization for the Switch version happening. And but yeah, again, the Switch haters, they think they got something with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not going to sit there and say the game doesn't look, you know, less than impressive in portable mode, but it still plays fine. The loading times, so let's not forget about that. This game loads a fast travel to a completely different area in like 12 seconds, 10, 12 seconds. That's unheard of for a game of that size loading. Yeah, now when you first start up, all the assets maybe aren't, you know, popped up yet. Like it'd be just completely brown ground texture or something for the first 2 seconds. But I'd rather have that than the Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, minute long, 2 minute long loading times, 3 minutes sometimes to load that game. You know, I don't mind like the textures taking a couple extra seconds when I'm already in the area and I'm already moving towards where I want to go. Oh wait, 2 seconds later the textures pop in. Like I'm not gonna be crying about that. So, so I do understand why it's been brought up. I don't understand why some people are saying it's absolutely not an issue at all. Like, I mean, I hate to say use that phrasing because I mean, when you're playing it, when you're playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and you're into the game, you probably really don't. It's probably really not an issue. But when like someone like me, I got a nice TV. I like to play in dock mode. I was playing in portable mode. I got to a new area with all these awesome like colored trees and this light coming through the ceiling and when you're in that Titan's belly. And I was like, you know what, this looks good, but I got to see it on my TV. So I paused the game and I put it on the TV. And I was like, I got to keep playing like this. It looks so much better. So, you know, I'm kind of, if I had to pick, like I said earlier, I would rather have them dedicate or focus on the docked version of a game and then the cutbacks to portable mode come later. And then, you know, you get the lesser version. I know I'm in the minority with that. I'm sure most people are happier with portable mode being the focus and then slight improvements to docked. I'm not going to be mad at that either, but if I had to choose, selfishly, I would choose, you know, make the docked version look amazing, you know, the best you can. And then, you know, if you, you know, screw you portable guys who don't have TVs and like to play on the go all the time. It still looks way better than a 3DS game, but I do agree, like, I don't really want to see games hitting under 480p in portable mode, you know, like to me, that's unacceptable. And I hate to say they can patch that later because that's not a Nintendo mindset, but you know, you got to factor in. There is no simple answer to this stuff. You got to factor in the fact that this game came out in the first 9 months of the Switch's life. It was a worldwide launch. The last couple Xenoblades, we had to wait half a year plus to get the game in English. So it's a worldwide launch and came out in the first 9 months. It's only been 2.5 years since their last game. Take all those into consideration. I can cut them some slack. Now, if the portable mode stays like this forever and then their next game has the same issue, then you just know that their goal is to make the best looking game docked that they can. I don't see that happening. I think there is going to be some kind of a patch or some kind of improvement. They'll figure some stuff out, get to know the Switch hardware better, and we'll see what happens down the road. But I guess, you know, I feel for the people that love portable mode, and you're getting definitely a lesser experience than the docked mode for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it's really the first game they've done that. Anybody's really done that from what I've seen. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody knows of another game that just looks and runs, maybe not runs, but just looks significantly better docked. I'm just running over in my mind some of the games I have. Like the indie games all are good both ways. Fast RMX is good both ways. SteamWorld Dig 2 looks amazing, docked and portable. Seems like I'm forgetting a major game, but can't think of it. Let me check my Switch real quick. But for the most part, I feel like arms are covered arms. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's one other one. I mean, that looks amazing in portable mode, but it looks really amazing in dock. So it's like they got the best of both worlds. Like that's one of the best looking games in portable mode, and it's one of the best looking games in dock mode. So it's, I don't know, it's just interesting to think about that. But, you know, again, just to repeat myself, the reason I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 it's made so much noise, this topic, is because it's the first game that's really had that big of a gap between docked and portable mode. So I think that's why people are focusing on it. I think that's why it's become a bigger deal than it probably should be. But that's just my opinion. That's my theory. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but yeah, and thanks, Historic Duel. Appreciate that. I'm not going to read what you said, but appreciate that. But anyway, I think I want to get back to playing some video games. I've had all week off. Got some snow today. Actually had to shovel my driveway for the first time this winter. And I like to try to do chores or get stuff out of the way before gaming when when I have vacation time, if I'm not going anywhere. Like go out, rake leaves, or do dishes, or do laundry. I don't just want to wake up and play video games, because then I'll do it all day and then I'll not do anything. So I made breakfast, I did the dishes, I shoveled the driveway, made this video, and now I'm going to play some games until my eyes tell me to stop, because I get some eye strain from playing Xenoblade for so long. Something about that game, like my eyes are really feeling strained. I don't know if it's just so much to focus on during the combat, trying to follow the blade combos and the arts powering up. And then I can turn Rocket League on and play for 2 hours online and not have a problem. You think that would bug my eyes more, but it'll be interesting too. Someone brought up the Switch 2 will be 1080p portable, 4K docked. Well, it'll be 1080 screen, probably won't hit that all the time. You know how Nintendo likes their marginal increases. It will be interesting if they ever decide to make a new Nintendo Switch Pro, Nintendo Switch X, with the Tegra 2, and basically be the new version of the Switch, plays all the games, nothing new, because then the developers would have potentially 4 SKUs to worry about. If they're smart, Nintendo's smart, they'll cut it down to 3, where they'll make the portable version with the Tegra 2, if possible, run identically to the docked version of the Switch we have now, so that they'll have to have portable OG Switch, docked and portable new Switch as one, and then the Switch Plus improvements. To say it out loud, I just don't know that Nintendo's ever going to do that. Like, that seems You know, the new Nintendo 3DS was weird because they had a couple exclusive games. Switch Plus or whatever wouldn't have exclusive games, but it would confuse things more. And would I, you know, just thinking about it right now, if it was true, and let's say the Switch Plus has the Tegra 2, and like I said, the portable version, I don't know if they'd have the actual screen resolution increased or not, but let's say the portable version of the Plus version runs identically to the docked. So you're getting Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like how it runs docked on your portable. Now, if you want to know what that might look like, play the game docked, find some good areas, snap some screenshots during the cutscenes, during gameplay. Just let the camera still, you know, don't move the camera around, pick a spot. Obviously, when it's not moving, it's going to be at its highest resolution. Snap a screenshot of that, like I said, during a cutscene, and then get the Switch in portable mode, and then go look at your screenshots. They look freaking amazing compared to if you're in portable mode and you snap a screenshot. So what I'm getting at is, if you want to know what a potential Switch Plus could look like in portable mode with more power, go look at those screenshots you took while it was docked on the screen itself, and it looks really nice. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 pictures look amazing on the Switch's screen if I took them while it was docked. So I would like to, you know, see that maybe next, I don't know, after year 2, and I'd probably bite the bullet and get it. It depends on obviously the extent of the improvements, the price, and what games are still coming out. You know, I'm not going to go buy another Switch, you know, Plus or whatever to go replay, you know, Doom now with better visuals, or play Breath of the Wild at 1080p or something. Like that's going to be too late. So it's really going to matter what games are left coming out, you know. I'd probably do it anyway, but I think that would be a big factor. Would you consider buying a Switch Plus if you have a Switch now? Obviously, well, let's just say that, like I said, portable mode on the Switch Plus runs identically to docked of the original Switch, and then the docked, the new one would run like bump Zelda up to 1080p, Doom up to like 900p, you know, stuff like that. Would you consider going out and spending another $300? I mean, is that something you think Nintendo needs to do? You know, at this point, they don't. Things selling. I wanted to bring up something I was thinking of watching the Revelations 1 and 2 analysis from Digital Foundry, and they're talking about how Revelations 1 was on the 3DS, and then they do 2, and they didn't put it on the 3DS, they put it on the Vita, and they showed what it looked like on the Vita. It looked like crap, but they were talking about how now the Switch is finally a good portable version of Revelations 2. And then I'm thinking, you remember when the Vita was coming out and everyone was saying, rest in peace, 3DS, you know, you remember that? Colin Moriarty, anyone remember that? The 3DS wins out, it dominates, destroys the Vita. Now the 3DS didn't do nearly as good as the 2DS, or the regular DS, sorry. I almost said 2DS as in the previous 3DS, but you know what I meant. 154 million DSs sold, 67 or something million 3DS is obviously a big drop off, but it still crushed the Vita. There's an example of graphics not mattering, games being the most important, a really sleek system that people like, with great games, is going to win out every time. Doesn't matter how good the games look, how bad they look. Doesn't matter what the resolution of the 3DS screen was. People still bought it. Pokemon sells like crazy. Mario Kart 7 sold like crazy. There's no way Mario Kart 8, even with the Switch version, probably never going to outdo Mario Kart 7, you know. And you're talking about a version on the Wii U and the Switch that looks so much better than 7 on the 3DS, but people just love that portable, and it proved that graphics didn't mean shit when it came to the Vita versus 3DS. Now we're talking about Switch graphics versus Xbox One, Xbox One X, PS4, PS4 Pro, and you tell me right now Microsoft wouldn't trade places with Nintendo, completely trained places. They could have the Switch. Nintendo could have the Xbox One S and X. Tell me Microsoft won't switch places right now? Switch places, pun intended. They would, because Switch is on pace to sell over 13 million in its first year. The Xbox One sales have just completely fallen off. Black Friday probably did all right, but things been like hovering just above 30 million for it seems like all year. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Switch is at 30 million by March 2019. I mean, I just wouldn't be surprised. So, graphics don't mean everything. I love the Switch right now. I can't believe that this many awesome games are out in the first 9 months. I don't even know what game to put in. Right, I got Doom in there right now. I kind of want to wait for the patch for the audio glitch before I really, go all in with that game. I want to play Rocket League. I want to play Mario Odyssey. I want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I definitely have some inkling to go back, not inkling to play Splatoon, but to play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, thanks to Red Knight posting videos on Twitter. And it's just like that combat system and that open world absolutely destroys Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, they're completely different games, but I want to go back. I had like 5 or 6 more shrines to find on Master Mode and then beat it and then get ready for the DLC. And, Splatoon 2, definitely not high up on my list. ARMS, I mean, barely touched it since Springtron or whatever came out. Love that game. So there's just so many great games, and it doesn't matter what the resolution of these games are. As long as, like I said, Rocket League looks great, Doom looks good, portable mode, all these other games, you got one game that doesn't look as good as it should in portable mode. Is that the end of the world? No. We still have an amazing system. I don't even like the Joy-Cons, and I still love this system. Like, I don't mind the Joy-Cons in portable mode, but when I got to play, when my Pro Controller battery gets low and I plug it in and I switch to the Joy-Cons, I don't really like the Joy-Cons. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The left analog stick, like my thumb, because of this flat-ass spot here, can't get the right angle. My thumb just doesn't want to hold up on that analog stick. So even with its faults, in my opinion, I would love a revised Joy-Con with more meaty grips and a little wider and better analog sticks, but even without that, even with all that, the lower resolution portable mode, 3-hour battery life, like that's a thing. No one, I mean, if you're playing that much in portable mode, I guess it could be an issue, but not the best way to get friends playing games. You really got to use social media and stuff. With all that said, still, I love this system more than any other system in the first year, maybe since the N64. I think the N64 in its first year with Mario 64, and I don't think GoldenEye made it out, but that was just a landmark console, and it was just changed the way I looked at gaming. But since then, nothing's really got me like that. And the first year's always been kind of like just waiting for the good games to come out. Now with the Switch, so it just proves that visual fidelity, 4K, all that bullshit doesn't mean anything when you don't have games. You could have a system like the Switch, this little tiny thing that runs games at 900p tops most of the time, 720p. It doesn't matter because it has great games, and that's all it really is important. And great games with online, Rocket League runs amazing online. Doom runs great online. Mario Kart has some issues. I think that has to do with it being a Wii U game. Splatoon 2 works good online. I don't have Street Fighter and some of these other ones, but it's just a great system. It's been a great year. I'd predict Game of the Year at the Game Awards will be Zelda. I don't see how it doesn't win. Somebody did a poll, a big YouTuber, not a big YouTuber, but 30,000 subs. He did a poll on people's favorite game of the year, and Zelda was at 40% out of like 1,000 votes. Made me sad that Horizon Zero Dawn was in second place with like 17 or 18%, and then Other was at like 16%, and then Mario was at 14 or something. But I think Zelda's going to win hands down. It'll be interesting to see what other categories. Some of them are just laughably stupid. The family best family games. I got Sonic Mania. You know, it's like no thought went into that, but it would be interesting to see. I definitely think Zelda's going to win, and I think it should win. It's the best game I've ever played. So I'll be watching that, you know, half watching that and half playing Mario Odyssey probably tonight. So that's going to be it for this Juice Opinions. I'm going to go play some video games, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday podcast. We'll cover some of the Game Awards, depending on the announcements or how laughably bad it is. Maybe won't even talk about it at all. Who knows? So looking forward to getting with the group on Monday and discussing everything, giving some more Xenoblade Chronicles 2 progress updates and any possible announcements that come out tonight. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.